Right, on to box number 2 of case number 1. Now, so far, we got a Warband, and we got a EvoCog Spitter, as well as a Rainbow Foil Tome. Now, if I had to guess, because of the hype, I'm pretty sure the Tome might be greater than both of these. Maybe even combined, considering the EvoCog Splitter is probably, a few dollars. Okay, I have a roast in the oven, right? So let's try and, well, okay, I'm getting to the box. Okay, try and get this done. Right, I think I got 20 minutes left on it. So let's just speed through some facts. We know what we're doing now. We've looked at the items, looked at everything else. All we care about are the exciting ones, right? So we'll probably pull out foils. Oh, did I mix up boxes? This is Japan. Ah, interesting. I got both. Plastic. Interesting. Why was there... It's not a dud, it's not funny sealed. I think I put a box back and opened the box. I think that might have been the case, which is good. Means that we still have a chance at another legendary, right? That's good. But yeah. Japanese. I was not expecting the plastic. Okay. I got 3 cases of Belgium, right? And 1 case of Japanese. Curious. Oh, the feel though is so different. Yeah, these are like paper. Cardstock is still so much better. Belgium. Anyway, unless this is completely different, we know what we're doing. We got a Contest the Mind again. That's actually good. We can compare it with one from Belgium. All right, changes my plan sort of what to do. I think I still need the rares and I want the foil. All right, so we have M's. I don't need a token. Why not left side? Anything else? No. Okay, so junk, foils, rares, M's. They'll do. But before we try and speed through, Test the Mind. Right, so we have both of them. So what I'd like to do is try to look at the coloring. Right, looks pretty even. Right, there's nothing that's really standing out different to me, which is good. Even the backs, yeah. Japan looks a little bit darker. The cardstock though, right, is definitely flimsier from Japan. It's not awful, but given everything else that comes out of Japan, it is not as high quality as what I was thinking. But yeah, which one? That's Japan, I feel. All right. What was I going to talk about? I already forgot. All right, reprints. That's what I want to talk about. How do you feel? How do you feel about reprints? Right, with the Faerendar Spring Tunic being not white border. That's the first sort of big one, right? The fact that they went with black border, they didn't go with any alt art or anything like that. Steel Soul, definitely want the full set of that, so that is a good pull. But yeah, they didn't go with white border, right? So they're sort of just saying, with the history pack, which is fair. Again, I don't think any of us need to really ever know of history pack 2 white border at this point in time. Maybe, oh, look at that. Another foil Imperial Flame. This box mishap is playing out in my favor. All we need now is another legendary, and these first 2 boxes have been good. Definitely good to me. Where's the rares? There they are. 2 rares, foil, tome. Love to see it. Again, probably offload them before the hype dies down, like before the competitive season really starts, and they're either disproved or, sort of necessity. Right? If they're super playable, they're going to go up. But, go with safety, not taking a chance. I'll keep 3, probably. Probably get rid of the foils. Tokens, rares, foil. But yeah, so we got the Faerendar Spring Tunic. We also got the Teklo Foundry Hearts as a normal print. Right, so that's interesting in itself, but also similar to the Crown of Providence. But yeah, the Faerendar Spring Tunic. I know some people weren't so happy about that, right? Because all of them are sort of devalued. Well, it's not that they're devalued, it's more that they're just equivalent. Even the Rainbow Foil, right? People don't really care, again, about the stylization. All they really care about is it playable? I need one for my deck. I'm going to get the cheapest one. Okay, Evo Charging Rods as our cold foil. Not spectacular, but we got the tome. Again, unless I'm, going crazy, pretty sure the tome is pretty valuable. I was surprised about Already Dead also. Right, that is also up there. Okay, what do we get? 2 rares, nada, foil nada, and nada. But yeah, and also sort of begs the question, the expansion slot, right? Do you think it was also underutilized? Because all we got was Fairendale Spring Tunic, and technically the Teklo Heart, but the Teklo Heart is also inset, right? If you look at like the collector's page, it's not cited as being expansion slot, so if there are differing odds, it's probably subject to the inset odds, not the expansion slot odds, if you care about that. So it is curious. I think Art of War was probably a big one. A lot of us were sort of speculating on, right? Because Art of War is, even the whiteboard is what? I don't know what it is in US. I think I just paid $60 one here in Australia, and that was sort of the cheapest one I could find through a store. I don't buy cards off eBay or anything like that. I always go through stores or respected sellers in the community, so to speak, right? But never eBay, just because I don't want to go through the hassle of, is this real, is it not, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I think from that, so, you know, it's a little bit above market price probably, was still $60. And I think the expectation in terms of like pricing and what LSS seems to be shaping things towards is, you know, Majestic should be somewhere between again, I'm trying to convert to USD for you. Somewhere between like obviously $0 and $30, I want to say, maybe a little bit higher, right? But still accessible for the most part. And then legendaries, you know, they want somewhere. The Rainbow Folds, they definitely want cheap. I'm thinking like the $20 to $40 range, depending on the end playability classes, yada yada. And then Cold Foils are the collector's pieces, and I'm pretty sure they want them a bit higher, right? But they're not, because they seem to flood Cold Foils, and they don't give us too great of Cold Foils. Annihilation Engine, not extended art, but still a great M to find, right? Definitely one of the big payoffs for Teklo Vossen, if you can get to it. Again, if you just steamroll Evos, I think it's not too hard. If you go for the fun stuff, then it gets a little bit complicated. But yeah, I think that's where I'm on paper for, right? So again, Majestics, you know, $30 is the high end, but everything else should be sort of accessible. Rainbow Foil legendaries, right? Again, you know, topping out at like $50 maybe. Yeah, probably less. Nah, probably like $40. They're also rares, right? Because again, they should be the accessible version. And then Cold Foil Legendary is, you know, anywhere from like $50 to $100. And then if it's over $100, like the Spring Tunic, they'll make a reprint, right? But yeah, it's interesting. Command & Conquer is still quite expensive, even though we do keep getting different variations, right? It seems like every set, every class gets a version of Command & Conquer for them, which is great, right? It's just going to take a little bit of time for it to hit everyone. And they've sort of tackled the classes that don't necessarily run Command & Conquer as well, right? So we got the Shadow, yeah, both Shadows got one. Was it just a Shadow card or was it Runeblade? Either way, and then we obviously have Mechanologist, right? So it'll take a while to circulate, but I think that's the right mentality. And then they sort of tried with the Fairendale Spring Tunic, and then just realized the Fairendale Spring Tunic is just the pinnacle of what they're happy to craft, and they don't want to, you know, power creep it. Hype Scrapper, like the concepts, don't like the final version. Again, it sort of is against itself, right? I think if this was harder, right, and didn't have to be hype drivers, maybe, but it's a max card, but then it's sort of counter to Moonshot. So, I don't know. I mean, you could go that, Blessing of Ingenuity, get them back on board. There are ways around it, but again, if you're not doing things efficiently, this is a big thing, especially with the current meta in Flesh Blood. If you're not doing things efficiently, you're too slow, right? It's very much a fast-paced... Well, it's not fast-paced. It's, again, I just want to say efficient. If you're not doing stuff efficiently, right, and you're sort of just leaving gaps or chinks in your armor so that you can go for cool stuff, you will get penalized, and you will, you know, go at a disadvantage to your opponents. And that's it. It all comes down to the draw mechanic, which is fantastic. It's a great way to balance the game, right? But at the same time, going for these big payoffs isn't in the cards just yet. So interesting to see as the meta shifts, right? They become more playable. But yeah, I think going for these big payoffs just is not what you want to do from my perspective. I might be wrong, right? I mean, I'm trying to craft decks to pull off these types of ideas, and they're okay. Again, they're just not great. Because I'm sacrificing too much to go for the big payoff. Jerez, sort of junk. Singularity is the other big one. Nitro, still more playable. Singularity, still, you know, somewhat hard. Maximum Velocity, right, is a cool payoff, and is you know, so much easier than any of these other cool cards. Dust of the Chrome Caverns. Don't know about that one, right? I think it's useful. I think Dromai wants it. All right. I don't know. Do they play the specialized dusts that much? I need to look into Dromai. But yeah, maximum velocity is obviously significantly easier to get its reward than any of the other high-end cards like Moonshot, Hyper Scrapper, Singularity, any of the big Evo cards, right, where you have to stack 4 on board, right? Because you're sacrificing so many in those turns to set up for average payoff, right? If they were great payoff, but they're not there. They're pretty average when you compare them to most of the other, competitive payoffs that each hero has. Again, using maximum velocity as the benchmark, where you just have to play 3 boost cards, right? So if you have hyperdrivers for max, right, you just go 3 boost, maximum velocity. In fact, you just even go 1 twin drive, maximum velocity. In most, you just go 1 twin drive, maximum velocity, and you have 1 card to pitch. So it's significantly easier than going for these big, flashy payoffs that are just, again, average in terms of value. Okay, we're near the end. We've got the Cold Fall. We've done all right with the expansion slot, right? We've got 2. No, we've got 3. We've got Tome, Dust, and contest the Minefield. So yeah, I guess it's a decent box, right? Love to see an L, but I think that might be asking a tad too much. But you never know. Could be right. Yeah. I remember when they were at the back. So Japanese, I think, even Dusk Till Dawn, it was the last card. If the last card was a bobble, sorry, you knew that this card was one of the good ones. Okay, we get Tick-Tock Clock again, right? This one is sort of the backwards. It's too competitive, where it could have had a cool finisher, but it's limited to, obviously, 2 items. Yes, you can destroy your opponent's items. How many matchups does that come into play, right? Aside from Mechanologist. To destroy 2 items. If it was items or auras, maybe, but it's not, it's just items, right? So, dud to me. Yeah, and if they just unlimited it and gave you the ability to then try and go with a max, you go for tons of hyperdrivers and then Tick-Tock Clock. I mean, you can't get tons out, right? At best, you could probably get like 6 comfortably. I mean, 6 probably pushing it, actually. But then, yeah, that's your payoff. They're just 2 items. And you might as well just run Boom Grenades for the tempo. Significantly easier to get your payoff again, right? It's just average. Not fantastic. Nothing. 3 to go. Come on. Show me the nothing. Perez, Synovan M. It's the wrong pile. Done, done, done. Alright. What do you think? Max or Teklo? Which has the better cards? Alright, Teklo should be the money bags. So we end up getting nothing. We got Gas Up. This second box, still no adult heroes. That's another thing we should probably note. And then 2. Right, Lucky Last. Can Max pull it off? Has he stolen something from the labs? No, he has not. Yeah, it's fine. Again, decent pulls, otherwise. We ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Majestic this time, which I think is probably slightly above average. I think, you should get technically 6 instead, and then if the expansion slot is separate, 7. But you got Tick-Tock Clock, expansion slots, Magnetic Protocol, Hyper Scrapper, Annihilation Engine, and Steel Soul Towers. Then we got Tome, Rainbow Fall, great, contest the Minefield, and Dust from the Chrome Caverns. Cool. Hope you enjoyed. See you for the next box as we continue with Japanese, right? Not Belgium. So yes, right. There's one box that was from a different case. Well, it wasn't even a different case. It was just one I bought loosely because I wanted to send some packs to my brother, and it ended up not coming. Right, so I had to take one out of this case. Then it came, and I put it back so that we could do a full case, right? Rather than, well, I could have just opened a new case. I mean, I probably won't keep any sets. Usually, I like to hold on to, 1 or 2 cases of each set. But I think Bright Light's going forward. The collectability is definitely gone. They're too niche now, right? Again, the nostalgia draft won't be there as much. So I think I'm not going to hold anything left. Anything I buy will just be straight to open. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See ya.